Okay, a very good morning children. Children, in the previous class I was discussing about cube, cube root and perfect cube, and I hope you must have understood. Still, let us revise once again and continue the same, checking for perfect cube. Okay, what is perfect cube? That I told you. If a number, any positive or negative integer, suppose 8 is the cube of what? 2 is a positive integer, so we say 8 is a perfect cube. Okay. Now minus 8, you see. Minus 8 is again the cube of what? It is the cube of a negative integer, means minus 2. So cube of minus 2 is minus 8. So minus 2 is 8 is also a perfect cube. See, 8 and minus 8 both are perfect cubes. Why? Because they are the cube of some integer, whether positive or negative. That means if a number can be expressed as the cube of some positive or negative integer, it is called a perfect cube. Any number which can be expressed as the cube of a positive or negative integer is called a perfect cube. Now the question is, these are small numbers, that is why we could easily find or say that yes, these are perfect cube. But suppose you are given large numbers, how will you know? Now suppose I will ask you, see, suppose you are given a number, say 216, you see. Suppose a number is given 216. How will you know whether it is a perfect cube or not? That means whether it is the cube of some positive integer or not. Clearly it is a positive integer 216. Okay. So it will be, if it is the cube of some positive integer, then it will be a perfect cube. And if it is not the cube of some positive integer, then it is not a perfect cube. Now the point is, how will we know whether this positive integer is a perfect cube or not? Okay, that we will discuss in this class. How to check for perfect cube? That means if you are given any number, any integer, maybe positive or negative, how will you know whether it is a perfect cube or not? What is the process? Let me discuss. Now to know, to check whether it is a perfect cube or not, what you will do? The process is you first find the prime factorization. Okay, find the prime factorization of the given positive integer. So you deduct 14 by 2. So take 2 as the prime factor, 2 1 is 2, 108. Again you take 2, it will be 54. Again you take 2, it will be 27. Again you take 3, it will be 9. Again you take 3, it is 3. Now 3, it is 1. See, now 216, you see, it is the product. Now write the prime factorization of 216. It is the product of how many 2s? 3 2s and how many 3s? 3 3s, you see. So 216 is the product of 3 2s and 3 3s. Now see, after finding the prime factorization, what is the next step, children? Let us understand. After finding the prime factorization, then you form triplet. You say triplet. Take 3 prime factor and form one triplet or one group, whatever you say. Okay? Because we are discussing about cube. In case of square, we were pairing how many numbers? 2 numbers. But in case of cube, you have to take 3 numbers, 3 prime factors and form a triplet, okay, or a group. Now see, these 2, you see there are 3 2s, so it will form one triplet and this will form another triplet. Now tell me children. Now on grouping or on forming triplet, the prime factors of 216. Now tell me, is any prime factor left? Is any prime factor left after forming the triplet or on grouping? The answer is clearly no. Here there are 3 2s, it is one triplet or one group. Here there are 3 3s, so it forms one group or one triplet. So no other prime factor is left. So since no prime factor is left, you see, since no prime factor is left on triplet, on forming triplet or grouping, on grouping or on forming triplet, we find no, there exists no prime factor left. No other prime factor is left. Therefore, 216 is a perfect cube, you see. So 216 will be a perfect cube because on finding the prime factorization and pairing or grouping or forming triplet, we did not find any prime factor left. Okay, so hence 216 will be a perfect cube. Now let us take another example. Suppose, let us take, suppose you are given, look at, suppose you are given a number 1323. Now check whether this number, whether this positive integer is a perfect cube or not. So the same process we will apply. See, so first you find the prime factorization. So clearly, since the last ones place is 3, it will not be divisible by 3. Now take test for 3. 3 plus 2. You know what is the divisibility rule of a number by 3? You know what is the divisibility rule of a number by 3? 3 plus 2, add all the digits. 3 plus 2, 5. 5 plus 3, 8. 8 plus 1, 9. So 9 is divisible by 3. Hence, this number will be divisible by 3. So let us divide it by 3. Okay? So 3 4 is 12. 1. 3 4 is 12. 1. 3 4 is 12. 1. This is 1. You see. Now again 4 plus 4 plus 1. 9. So it is divisible. So it will be divisible by 3. 3 1 is 3. 1 4 14. 3 4 is 12. 2 1 21. 3 7 is 21. Okay. Now let us again divide it by 3. 3 4 is 12. 3 9 is 27. Now it is no more divisible by 3. It will be divisible by 7 only. Okay. And 7 is divisible by 7. 7 7 is 1. Now you see children. Now I found the prime factorization of what? 1323. And what is my aim? My aim is to check and confirm whether this number is a perfect cube or not. So for that what I say? You first find the prime factorization. After finding the prime factorization, you write down the prime factorization. So 1 3 2 3 is equal to 3 into 3 into 3 into 7 into 7. You see children. Now after finding the prime factorization of the given positive or negative integer, what is the next step? As I told you just now, for triplets, you see these 3. Because we are discussing about perfect cube, so you have to take 3 numbers into account or consideration. Okay? So you see there are 3 3's in the prime factorization of 1323. So this will form one triplet or one group, you can say. But see here, there are 2 7's. So as there are 2 7's, we cannot form a triplet. We cannot form a group because we are discussing about cube, perfect cube. Okay. So that means if one more 7 is multiplied here, then only this number will become a what? It will become a perfect cube. So on grouping. So what is the next step? After writing the prime factorization, you write down on grouping. When we are grouping or on forming triplet, on grouping or forming triplet, triplet means already I have told you triplet is a set of 3 numbers. Okay. On grouping or forming triplet, see, one factor is left, one more 7 is required. You see, one more 7 is required. Then only it will form a triplet. Okay. So on forming triplet, 7 into 7 is left. 7 into 7 is left. As we require, we need another 7 to form a triplet. So on grouping or forming triplet, since the prime factor 7 and 7 are left, therefore this number, that is 1323, is not a perfect cube. It is not a perfect cube. So this is the process. These are the steps that you need to follow to check and confirm whether a number is what? A perfect cube or not. I hope you understood. And this process is also applicable. I am discussing only positive integers. It is also applicable to check whether a negative integer is a perfect cube or not. Okay, let us take another example so that you will understand the concept better. Suppose in a particular question you are given minus 512. We are not discussing cube root. We will discuss how to find cube root, what is the method in another class. We are now simply checking for perfect cube. You are given a positive or negative integer. How will you check whether that number is a perfect cube or not? Okay, I gave 2 examples to make you understand what are the different steps. Let us take a negative integer now. Say minus 512. How to know whether this is a perfect cube or not? See, we will apply the same procedure. Okay. So now, in order to check a negative integer whether it is a perfect cube or not, first step is you ignore the negative sign. You forget the negative sign for some time. Okay. Assume that this is a positive integer. Now find the prime factorization of what? Find the prime factorization of 512. Now divide it by 2. 2 to the 4. 1 2 5. 1 6 256. Divided by 2 again 128, divided by 2 again 64, divided by 2 again 32, divided by 2 again it is 32, 16, divided by 2 again it is 8, divided by 2 again it is 4, divided by 2 again it is 2, then 2 is 1. You see, how many 2's are there? How many 2's are there in the product of 512? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. That means if 9 2's are multiplied, you will get 512. So, this minus 512 can be written as, you see, minus you keep outside the bracket, it is 2 into 2 into 2, write the product of 9 2's, okay, 2, 2, 2, see. I have taken the product of 9 2's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Now the prime factorization part is over. Ignoring the negative sign, I mean minus sign, keeping it outside the bracket. Now you form triplet. See, these 3 2's are forming one triplet. These 3 2's are forming one triplet. These 3 2's are again forming another triplet. So how many triplets you are getting? You are getting 3 triplets. Now tell me, do you find any other prime factor which is left on grouping or forming triplet? Is any other prime factor left in this particular prime factorization? The answer is clearly no. So since no prime factor is left, so what you will write? Since no prime factor is left, therefore minus 512 is no doubt is a perfect cube. Okay. It is a perfect cube. Of course, it is a negative integer. So, how to find its cube root? We will discuss it in another class. So, my intention is whether you understood how to check whether a given positive integer and a negative integer are perfect cubes or not. I hope you understood. We will discuss the methods for finding perfect cube in the next class. Okay. Thank you.